Welcome back to Potato League. Today we have a ZvT against Haru, or Haro. It's not Haru, it's Haro. Um, love for that name. We're going to actually go into. There we go. We're actually going to go into this screen first before we begin. We're going to talk about the reason that we've lost today. And as you can see down here, this game is going to be about my engagements and how I made some poor choices with engagements. As far as like my plan and strategy, my build order, my positioning, my scouting, my reactions, I'll kind of go over the first couple minutes of this game. It's a long game. I don't think I'll do the whole thing, but three, as I said, there's just a couple minor problems. Basically, I've considered it as I'm playing as I usually play. I'm not playing any worse than I usually do. I'm not playing any better than I usually do. It's just kind of like my standard. I did what I usually do. Um, so I might have to readjust what the very bottom is. Perfect, can't see, minor. So I might do like as I average, considering how I usually play, or better than my average, or worse than my average, something like this. Um, my macro is okay. Again, it's just kind of like how I usually play. I'm going to be floating some minerals at some points. I'm going to be doing a little bit worse on doing better on others. But it's nothing kind of to write home about. If I'm getting engaged and I'm trying to position my stuff, yeah, I'm going to be floating a couple minerals, but I usually get it down fairly quickly after that. My creep spread's pretty good, but my injections weren't very good on this map because I was focusing on creep a little bit more, so not too good. And then down to my micro, this is where the big issue was. I made some control group decisions later on in the match to try to figure out what's going on. I'll talk about how I like that. I'm going to keep going forward, but today I lose this match because of my engagements. I wasn't doing too bad, so let's get into it and let's start watching. So we're going to put this on just times 2. We're going to watch kind of the overall. So yeah, at the very beginning, I'm just saying how much I like this guy's name. So this is not a battlecruiser build from a Terran. This Terran is going to be going straight bio. It's going to be Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Widow Mine, so the 4M build, 4M composition. And I'm going to be doing Lingbane Hydra, as I always do against Terran in my standard opener. So one little thing I've learned is if I see an SCV scout, I have to be ready to take either this base or this base as my fourth, or my third. So with this, I can't see if he's moving. I don't see it with my Overlord if he's taking this SCV home. If he's taking the SCV home, I'll always send just one worker here at a 27 supply. But I don't know if he's not, so I should be sending one to each of my fourths. So as soon as I'm able to take this, I bring him home. So I lose a little bit of mining time on this guy, but it's more of a safety thing. I'd rather get my third down in this spot and defend it with creep than delay my third on this build. So no big issues with build order yet, which is why I'm giving it just like a standard 3. Gonna send in my Overlord. And I see that he's got a lot of Marines already. I'm like, okay, well, looks like it's going to be bioplane. He's going very fast, third command center. So I'm going to be holding down the Overlord button right now because I just lost that Overlord. And I'm going to be getting a lot of creep. And I'm going to be stopping at about 51 workers. But I know up until about 51 workers, it's not Hellions, so I don't have to really be too worried about it. I do have to be careful if he's going to walk across the map with like 15 Marines right now. That would be kind of rough. So I'm going to send out all of my Zerglings instead of keeping them at home. I'm going to try to catch what's going on in this map. So I've got good map vision. This one's to try to catch medevacs, but I should have really put one at both of these. What is it? Zonlaga towers instead. But I've got an Overlord over here, and I've got Overlords kind of getting ready for my creep. So I'm sending out more and more lings just kind of to see, where these drops might be coming. This is where I'm at 51 workers, and I'm making a round of lings really quick, getting my upgrade and stuff. So as far as build orders go, it's a very tame game. I see he's moving his third out, and this is usually when the Terran's going to try to walk across the map, right? When they're getting the third, they want to take map control. So I'm preparing for a push, and as I expected, it's going to come out. I realized that my Hydralisk then is a little bit late. I should have been taking it a little bit earlier, but because I was expecting much more harass with these Marines, So this was good positioning. I had my creep spread. He didn't really take a lot of creep, and I'm immediately putting it back down. I had my queens kind of over here defending this liberator that was coming up. I've got spore crawlers positioned in all of the correct spots of my base because I know it's a liberator in here. I don't want to deal with it. I know that I don't need a spore crawler in every base, but in just Diamond 2 where I am right now, this is totally acceptable. I make a small mistake here. I get a creep tumor over here because I want to be able to cover this with queens, and he does. He moves in his liberator right here at the end, but I put the spore here, and I have a queen, so I don't really need all of my lings to run down here. It was all on just one control group right now. And I was thinking maybe there was a drop. I wasn't really looking at the mini-map, so my kind of map awareness is a little bit meh. But, yeah, I immediately come back up here. I don't lose my queen. So here's what I'm going to say. If we go back to this screen right here. So I'm saying my build order, my positioning, my scouting are just standard. The reason I'm going to say that is because I haven't lost any workers. He's killed one worker on this build, and that was this liberator over here. Took one shot off, killed that worker. And so with all of this harass that's come by, I feel very confident. I feel very safe. I'm not worried about it. And I didn't lose any queens or anything like that. So I'm saying that my reactions are good. My scouting is okay. It's average as it is. But my reactions, when there was one liberator down here, I knew that I should have realized I didn't need to send everything down, and I would have completely cleaned this up without even losing like any Marines or any units at all. So if we look at the units lost tab right now, I am ahead here. And we're going to keep this units lost tab open from now on because my build order is kind of set. I'm getting +1/+1. The only thing I've kind of screwed up, and I wanted to mention, is my Hydralisk gun is a little bit late. I'm just about to grab it, but I should have taken it a little bit earlier. The reason I didn't was because I made more lings than I usually do, because I was expecting more of a drop, and I was staying on just 51 workers on one gas, in case he was trying to do more of an aggressive play, but I should have realized that as he was taking his third, I could have droned up a little bit more. He can't have enough to like abolish me and 3 command centers by 6 minutes, unless I take some horrible trades against Widow Mines or something like that. So we will continue on the regular standard screen. Okay. So I shoot this away. I still have pretty good map vision. I know if he's going to be coming out over here. This guy's kind of useless over here unless he's sending something over. So not the best map vision, but decent enough. Now I'm just droning up. I've taken a nice trade on creep. So I'm positioning my armies in places. I'm starting to break some rocks down. I'm going to be making some Hydralisks that are going to stay up in my natural. Up in my main, because he's tried to drop me once there and multi-prong me. So here comes this next attack over here. I do see it coming from my the ling that was here in this useless spot I was talking about. So he's coming in to clear up some creep. And let's go back to the units lost tab. So here it comes. I'm targeting down his medevacs with my queens. Took a very nice trade. Right here, I'm very far ahead. I've almost doubled the usefulness, and we're about on the same economy right now, but I'm actually about to just hold down the drone key as soon as this is done. Now, this is my first bad. If we go back to, not this one here. When we go back to this, if you look at my engagements, my unit control is really shit, because this one of mine and this one of mine are about to rock my day. So let's take this. Watch. So I'm way ahead, and now I'm not so far behind, right? So this is kind of, these Widow Mines are rough here. So now I make my good decision on this. I put my Hydras always in group 2 when I'm making them, because I like to see how many Hydras I have, and because I know he's got Widow Mines now. What I do is I'm going to control group these with some Overseers, so I can move my Hydras in and pick off the Widow Mines without losing my Lings. So this is why I said on my actual control grouping, I'm going to put it as 4, because I think it's a little bit better than it usually is. Yeah, so We're going to keep on going here. You'll see me start actually utilizing that a little bit. So I'll just put it on this control group so you can see what's going on. I'm picking it off. Take another nasty trade, but here it comes. I'm going to put these overlords or overseers in this group, and now I'm going to make sure that I'm cleaning up all the widow mines. I remember there's some widow mines over here. There were some widow mines up here. So I'm still ahead on the units lost tab, and I'm ahead on the worker count. Got some nice bases set up, and I'm ahead this game right now. I'm doing very well. I'm feeling very confident. I am a little bit shaky because there are widow mines out. Then because I've maxed out now, so I've maxed out. I'm at 124 supply. I have again my hydralisks up in the main. These aren't hotkeyed, and they're just on control. They're just going to be patrolling around because of drops like this. I know that he's been trying to do this game. I've got a couple lings over here, so these hydras come up, take out this. Now I'm going to push into his fourth, and now these widow mines are also going to do a terrible job against me again. So now is when I'm behind. So this engagement, it came in from one angle, and let's back it up. If I had taken, let's back it up a little bit more. Let's watch this engagement. So while I'm dealing with this Liberator, what I should have done is not attacked from just one angle. He knows where all my stuff is now. Instead of attacking everything from over here, what would have been much better is half of it up here, half of it down here. Because these two widow mines take a massive hit of my lings, and I lose my whole front line. So instead of attacking in from two angles, I attack through one choke point into widow mines and tanks. And there it is. I lose some nice hydras. I'm trying to run away. And meanwhile, I'm losing my fourth base. So now we're starting to get far behind. Got my hydras up in the main. We're about to take this out. There it is. Take this. So again, he's trying to do these drops up into my natural, but he's losing units against it. I'm still behind, but I've been ahead of workers for so long that I'm still kind of ahead. If we look at upgrades, he's got 2-2. I've got 2-1, so he's ahead of me on upgrades. He's doing a really good job macroing, and this is where I'm starting to like lose my cool a little bit. So we just keep on looking at the units lost tab. I've also, at this moment, I've lost my map control, or my scouting. I've got, one Zergling up here, but I do have some nice creep spread moving up. I wanted to get this reestablished so I can kind of push through. I am getting past, it's hard to get past this, but I'm just about to move forward. I've got these ability to kind of surround down from the south here, so I'm not doing too bad with this. Listening to some Korean announcers. I've got some infestors out. Got a nice juicy fungal there on all of his widow mines, on all of his medevacs. Now, here's where I make a mistake. Right here, I don't need to. Okay, so let's see what he's threatening right now. He's threatening this base, and he's threatening this base. But only like small marines are threatening these bases, right? It's not anything to write home about. I can take these guys and I can walk down. So here's the bad trade. So right now, we're still fairly close. I'm a little bit behind, but banelings are notorious for taking really good or really bad trades. And now if you see, I don't know where his tanks are. And I know that he has been trying to bait me into something for a long time. And now I'm about to find out what's going on. So again, instead of just attacking through one point into a bunch of tanks, what I should have done at this point is run bys. So he's in a spot where he can't engage into me. I'm going to try to take a fight off of creep and without my infestors. So this is just a totally useless engagement here. I'm going to hit in a big line around a corner over these tanks. What would have been better even is if I had moved some of my army down to here and pushed in from two angles. So the first shells of the tanks are going to go half here, half here. Then I can surround in, move my infestors up, get a nice fungal on this big group of marines, take care of that, Banelings will wreck that while I control click my my Zerglings and run them onto the tanks. That's what the engagement should have looked like. So again, take, you know, like this box here, move it, shift here, attack move, wait for that, control click, my infestors move them here. Infestors shoot one fungal here. When this is rounding the corner, when I hear the first tank shot, I shoot off a fungal, I A move everything, control click the lings, run them on top of the tanks. The banelings are going to move towards the marines, who are now fungaled by the infestors, and then I take this big engagement. Watch what happens instead. I am down twice the resources lost now. So that one engagement wrecked my day. And now he is Terran, 190 supply Terran on 80 workers versus mine. I could have crushed this army with the engagement and then moved across very, very quickly. Started taking into broods, which I already had my hive, and my greater spire could have started. I'm finishing up +2, and then I'm getting missile attacks right now because I got getting the armor upgrade right now. I got my hive was a little bit delayed, so which is why I'm not able to start through 3 immediately after the hive is finished. But I do have the ability to go into that tech, get some Vipers now to take care of these tanks, but it's a little bit too little too late. So I'm making an ass load of banelings to try to stop him. And again, just take a bad trade off of creep. I'm going to move all of these guys over to this 6 base up here. Try to defend it. And now this is what I mean, like, I don't need to be... I've kind of, like, screwed up. Trying to do a counter push. I try to go into his base, get a bunch of workers. I actually killed a ton of workers with that hit. So now I'm way ahead on workers. We're even again, but now he's got just push into here. And he's just parade push across the map. Not enough for a fungal. Making hydras. I've got the money. I don't have the larva because my queens haven't been injecting for a while, and now they're vomiting all over the hatcheries. But again, a little bit too little, a little bit too late. My macro's not super good at this point. And then I couldn't engage into here. But I still could have salvaged, even after that really bad attack. I still could have salvaged, but now he's just parade pushing across the map. He's done. He's ready to go in for the killing blow. I've got some ultras out. And again, let's attack down one angle when he's really not threatening anything right now. He's in kind of a neutral spot, and I just walk into tanks. So that's why we lose. So moral of the story is engagements, not so much how to engage. That's something I can understand, and I don't know why I wasn't engaging properly in this game, but also when to engage. If he is actively hitting one of my hatcheries, then yes, I should engage on it. But unless, like, when his tanks were literally behind this wall over here, unless I have this base, I can just kind of leave these tanks here. Those tanks can stay. And instead I can do a run by here, and a run by here. I'm gonna go back to this engagement. It's about 16 minutes. It's about the 14-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. All right, here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Here it comes. Push it forward. Take a bad trade. Still okay. Still okay. Still okay. Still okay. He's pushing forward. Still okay. He's ahead of me now, but we're still okay. Still okay. What I should have done, left these banelings here, left these hydras here, left these infestors here. All these zerglings, how many zerglings do I have? 97? I could take 50 zerglings. I can go, boom, that. All those zerglings, they're going to go right into here. They're going to attack that base. That's all I needed to do. And I could have just even attacked, could have shift-clicked here, here, attack moved this wall, so they start breaking this wall down. Then he has to reposition his tanks and start moving everything home. And then as soon as he unsieges his tanks, then I push forward. Because he has two options at that. He's going to lose everything here, because his army, he's maxed out, right? So let's see where his army is. There's nothing in his main base. There's nothing over here. There's nothing at his third. There's a couple dudes at his fourth. But this is his army. This is his whole army. So which means if I send 50 lings over to here into his third base, even if they're just attacking this wall, he has to make a choice. Am I going to lose this entire base, or am I going to take some of these units home? And what he was probably going to do is take some units home. And again, as soon as he sieges his tanks up, we jump on his tanks with all of this. And then when we jump on his tanks with all of this, he loses his backbone of his army. I'm going to take some bad shots into widow mines, but I mean, even so, I'm going to demolish his economy while I am going to stay on 80 workers. So I've only lost one worker. And even after this big fight, even after this massive, horrible fight I take, even after that horrible fight, I have still only lost one worker. Still, at 14 minutes. I've killed 21 of his workers now. I've still only lost one worker. Now I've lost 3. Losing a couple more. Let's look at how many I've lost at the very end of this game. $13 to 21. So even after this game is finished, even after all of it, my defense is actually really good. Just my engagements and decision making in that was really bad. So that's the reason I lost this map. Just 100% mistakes I've made on my own side. Unnecessary attacks. If I had better creep, if my creep was out over here, he honestly can't do anything. But that's the way the game plays. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.